Have you ever felt that, no matter how much you plan, your mind insists on creating scenarios of failure? It seems there's a constant buzz, a worry that follows you from the moment you open your eyes until the moment you try to sleep. Modern anxiety isn't just a feeling, it's a battle. You try to control everything, try to anticipate every problem, but the truth is, the tighter you grip the control, the more your peace slips through your fingers. Many people think the solution lies in breathing techniques, changing their diet, or escaping social media. And while all of that helps, something is missing at the root of the problem. You are missing an anchor. What I'm going to show you today is not a new theory. It's not a passing motivational hack. It is a key, hidden in one of the most powerful chapters of the Bible, Isaiah 41. Many read this text as mere poetic comfort. But if you know how to read between the lines, you will discover a fear deactivation system that works in minutes. It's not about ignoring what you're going through or pretending the problem doesn't exist. It's about changing your information processing system. Have you ever stopped to think why, even when you have everything under control, anxiety insists on knocking at your door? It's because your brain has been trained to look for danger. And the message in Isaiah 41 is essentially training for your brain to stop seeing danger where there is purpose. In this first step, we're going to deconstruct why you feel so alone in your struggle. Anxiety thrives in the isolation of your own mind. When you think you are the sole person responsible for your future, the weight is simply too great for any human being to carry. Isaiah starts by tearing down exactly this pillar of destructive self-sufficiency. He doesn't tell you to be strong alone. He tells you to understand who is holding your hand. And this is where the magic begins. In verse 10 of Isaiah 41, there is a command that goes against everything modern society tries to teach you when you are in crisis. Most people tell you to focus on yourself, find your inner strength, and be your own hero. But the sacred text says this: "Fear not, for I am with you. Be not dismayed, for I am your God." Pay close attention to the order of these words. The antidote to fear is not human courage. The ultimate antidote to fear is divine presence. Anxiety is a professional liar. It tries to convince you that you are isolated on a battlefield, surrounded by financial, family, or health threats you have no capacity to overcome. But the biblical text interrupts this panic cycle with a brutal reality check. God doesn't minimize your problem or say it's an illusion. He simply says, "I am here." This completely changes the architecture of your mind. When an anxiety attack hits, your body immediately goes into survival mode. Your breath gets short, your heart races like a runaway engine, and your mind starts projecting the worst possible scenario. You spend all your energy trying to find a logical way out using your own strength. But verse 13 of Isaiah brings the exact anchoring technique you need to use in these minutes of despair. The text states non-negotiably, "For I, the Lord your God, hold your right hand. It is I who say to you, fear not. I am the one who helps you." Pay very close attention to the mental image this forms. The right hand, in the biblical and historical context, is the hand of strength, the hand of action, the hand that holds the sword and shield to fight. When God says He holds your right hand, He is literally halting your useless effort. He is saying, stop trying to fight this war alone. Drop the weapons. You don't need to control all the variables of your life, because absolute control is already in the hands of the one who sustains the entire universe. The immediate, breathable relief does not come when your problem magically disappears. Relief comes the exact second you transfer the responsibility of the resolution. That is the psychological secret the great men and women of the Bible used. They weren't superheroes immune to panic or sleepless nights. They were just masters of emotional load transfer. When you understand and accept that the Creator is holding your action hand, your brain understands that the threat has been neutralized. Your body no longer needs to pump cortisol and adrenaline to defend itself. You enter a state of active, profound rest. From today on, when your chest tightens and your mind races, you will not focus on the size of the problem. You will close your eyes for a minute, take a deep breath, and visualize this exact scene. Your right hand being held firmly, But for this to truly work and become an impenetrable barrier against anxiety in your routine, there is a dangerous trap you need to disarm first. If you keep feeding your mind with the error I'm about to reveal, not even this promise from Isaiah will be able to keep your peace. There is a daily, silent habit that sabotages your confidence, and that is exactly what we need to talk about to seal this armor once and for all. The trap that destroys your peace, even when you know the promises, has a very simple name. It's called worst-case fixation. The human brain is addicted to trying to guess the future to protect itself. And what do you do every day? You feed this addiction. You wake up and immediately consume problems that aren't yours. You scroll through your phone, listen to the chaos of the world, absorb the despair of others, and, without realizing it, you tell your own brain that danger is imminent and constant. And here is the brutal truth you need to accept. Isaiah's promise doesn't work if you spend 23 hours of your day holding hands with despair and try to hold God's hand for just 5 minutes before going to sleep. The math simply doesn't add up. Anxiety will always win by exhaustion. God has not given you a spirit of fear, but of power and of a sound mind. But a sound mind needs a sound diet. You need to understand and apply the principle of focus substitution. If you just try to stop thinking about your problems, your brain will think about them twice as hard. Do not try to empty your mind, because an empty mind is the most fertile ground there is for chaos and worry. The absolute secret is not emptiness, it is fulfillment. It is filling the mental space with the unshakable certainty of protection. That is exactly why Isaiah repeats the direct order not to fear so many times. He's not giving cute motivational advice, he is giving a war command. Fear not, for I am with you. This means you have the responsibility to police the borders of your mind. When the thought that everything will go wrong tries to invade your head, you will not debate it. You will not analyze all the variables and possibilities of failure. You will apply the immediate blocking technique and respond to the fear with the authority of the promise. You will tell yourself that you don't need to solve tomorrow right now, because your right hand is being held by the one who is already in tomorrow. Tomorrow is not your territory. Tomorrow is the Creator's territory. When you truly internalize that you are not the general manager of the universe, a gigantic weight disappears from your back. Chronic anxiety is, deep down, a severe crisis of trust. It's you believing that if you don't take care of every detail, your boat will sink. But the boat is not yours. The sea is not yours, and the storm does not obey you. Your only real job is to trust the captain who is in the boat. And this brings us to the last and most important point of all, the practical closure. Understanding all this theory is wonderful, but how do you transform all of this into a daily routine that armors your mental health from Monday to Monday? How do you wake up tomorrow morning and ensure that anxiety won't dictate the rules of your day? There is an exact 3-minute practice you must do as soon as you open your eyes. If you mess up this first step of the day, the war is lost before you even get out of bed. It is this morning armor that I am going to reveal to you right now, so you will never again be a slave to this panic cycle. The secret to beating anxiety is not trying to be strong all the time, but knowing exactly how to start your day. Neuroscience tells us that the first few minutes after you wake up define the alert state of your nervous system for the rest of the day. If the first thing you do is grab your phone, read bad news, or review your endless list of problems, you are literally programming your brain to enter survival mode. This is where the 3-minute technique based on Isaiah 41 comes in. Tomorrow morning, when you open your eyes, rule number 1 is absolute. Do not touch your phone. Do not look at your schedule. You will stay in bed, in silence, and dedicate the first minute just to audit your mind. Let the thoughts of worry appear, but do not interact with them. Just observe. Look at anxiety as if it were an alarm going off downstairs. You hear the alarm, but you know there is no fire. In the second minute, you will apply the verbal command. Faith is not just an invisible feeling, it is a mechanical action that alters the environment. The Bible says that faith comes by hearing. You will declare out loud, even if it's a whisper, "I do not fear, because the Lord is with me. He takes my right hand and helps me." When you say this, you break the cycle of internal noise. Your own voice creates an anchor in reality. You are giving a direct order to your central nervous system, warning that the captain has taken the helm of the boat. In the third and final minute, you do the load transfer. Remember what we talked about in the second block? You will take a deep breath and visualize your dominant hand, your hand of work and war, being enveloped by a greater force. Every problem that tries to scream in your head during that minute, you will mentally hand over into that hand holding yours. The bill that needs to be paid, the medical diagnosis, the family crisis, the conflict at work. All of this is no longer a burden for you to carry on your back. It is a problem for the one who promised to sustain you. At the end of those 3 minutes, you get out of bed. You are no longer in defense mode. You are in purpose mode. Anxiety loses its oxygen when it realizes it has no more use because you are no longer trying to control the uncontrollable. The peace that surpasses all understanding is not the absence of storms. It is the absolute certainty that your boat will not sink, because you are not the one navigating it. Apply this today, train your mind tomorrow, and watch as the giant of anxiety begins to shrink until it disappears. If this knowledge unlocked something in your mind today, leave your comment below telling me what burden you transferred today. Share this with someone who is losing sleep trying to fight alone. We'll see you in the next video.